Hey guys, today we sit down and chat with red carpet reporter Miss Taylor Ferber. When she first slid into my DM, she said, I got hit on by Tom Girardi twice, and I've bonded and hung out with Erika over older men. Listen, people slip into our DMs all the time with a story that they know this one or that one. Lately, it's all about Erika. And I'm like, listen, we're just not that show. We're not going to speak to every single person that's run into Erika's grandmother's sister's mother's brother. Then I realized Taylor was a red carpet reporter who has interviewed a lot of the housewives, such as myself. And I'm like, wouldn't this be fun if we compared notes? And we also talk about like actual A-list celebrities. Am I being shady that she's interviewed? She's hated by some. I'm hated by some. So we kind of break down the fourth wall and compare like who we've interviewed and who was naughty and who was nice. But, I also want to hear about the fact that she was hit on twice by Tom Girardi and, how she's bonded with older men over Erika. We compare interviews of a lot of people, Kyle, Garcelle, et cetera, et cetera. So head on over to Patreon. We break it all down today with Taylor Ferber. She also has a great podcast, Cancel Me, Baby. We talk about cancel culture, the people that dislike her that she's interviewed. I talk about some of the people that probably aren't so thrilled with me that I've interviewed. And here are some little excerpts from that. So check out these excerpts and head on over. Of course, we talk also about Kathy Hilton. She's met Kathy Hilton, Kim, Paris, Kris Jenner. Hope you guys like it. When you slipped into my DMs and you said, because listen, here's the thing. People, I'm going to put you on blast here, Taylor. No,
it happened. It happened.
Here's the thing. People do slip into my DMs all the time. And they're like, I used to do this. I used to do that. And I'm like, listen, that's just not this particular podcast. Like, I particularly don't need to speak to someone that, someone the other day was like, I used to be R. Kelly's assistant. And I'm like, okay, well, that is interesting. But like, we just can't speak to everybody here. This is behind the velvet rope. However, then when I started looking into you, I'm like, oh, she was a red carpet reporter. Okay, now I have now you've earned your place here behind the velvet rope.
She's got the street cred.
You got the street cred. And like, no, it's true though. People slip in all the time and they're like this and that. And my best friend's sister's mother, like once ran into Erika at a supermarket. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine. It's just not us.
Lo and behold, who does it involve, David, but the Chrissy Teigen? Okay. So I was a writer at VH1, and because that is what I do, I go against the norm. I call it for what it is. I wrote a piece and I called out Chrissy Teigen's bullying. So she came after me in a public way on Twitter. My company sided with her. So out of principle, I walked away because yet again, don't tell me, what I can or can't say. So that really put me on the red carpet. I started freelancing for Us Weekly and all these different magazines. And I realized nothing was fulfilling. Like I wasn't happy doing the, how did you lose your baby weight? Tell me about working with so-and-so. Bored as hell. So what I did was I didn't have a fancy camera crew and a cubed mic. So I had a selfie stick, me and my selfie stick. I'd go out on red carpets. So not only was it this unconventional out of the box, people were like, what is this? But I would also ask celebrities really, provocative questions. And not only the questions, but the whole interactions. I mean, things you would never get away with now. Michael Douglas grabbing my nose, Cuba Gooding Jr., his arm around me, Brooklyn Decker, we're grabbing each other's boobs. Danny DeVito is like, look I'm at your boob. My eye level's at your boob, So.
Okay. So go way back. So when you wrote this Chrissy Teigen piece at VH1, that was before it came out about like Courtney Stodden or anything like that she was bullying. You just saw something else that she bullied someone?
Yes. I actually had called her out for bullying random people on the internet. Random people. I'm like, girl, you got a mansion, you got a famous husband. I think you got better things to do. But in my piece, I called it hypocritical because she was saying she was getting bullied and in turn was calling random people on the internet it was like, I would ask about monogamy with Garcelle before she was a housewife. I asked her about, female orgasm. So it was all that, but I would also ask them, with mental health, why do we make it a women's issue? Why don't we talk about it with men? Or, I would always just try to go deeper and pull out something more. So the topics definitely varied, but.
When did you meet Garcelle?
Oh God, when didn't I meet Garcelle? She lived in my neighborhood. So I would see her, all around, and she joked about it with other red carpet reporters. But Garcelle was that person who would like show up to every red carpet just to talk and be seen and be there. And I wasn't even mad at it because.
What about Kyle? I know you met Kyle a bunch of times on the carpet.
I have a carpet interview with her talking about how she keeps her sex life with Mauricio hot. Kathy is now like the fan favorite. I was at an event for Rachel Zoe, a winter line or something she was promoting. Kyle was there with her daughter, Farrah. So I was talking to them about how cute it was that they were always together. I said, it reminds me of me and my mom, and we're on different coasts. So I'm jealous of you guys always hanging out. Kathy was there and Paris is there. All these people. Kathy, true to her Beverly Hills persona, starts taking photos of me and other reporters. She's like, you girls are so pretty. Can I take photo on her personal cell phone? So I'm like, I'm somewhere in the iCloud of Kathy Hilton's abyss. Like
she not like with her. She just was like aiming the camera at you, taking pictures.
No, she's not in the photo. Just like, I just want to capture this moment again. Like, is she Aunt Kathy to all of us? I mean, maybe.
I just don't understand how can you be involved in Housewives and come out completely unscathed? If she will come back, she said on Kelly Clarkson recently that she's game for season 2 if they invite her back. I'm like, okay, sweetie, they are inviting you back. Let's just let me tell you that one. If she's going to be unscathed again, I bet you. It's just like, you don't go there. Who is going to, if they're afraid of Erika, who is going to go there with, first of all, Dorit fucking has her whole head so far of Kathy's ass.
And her neck and her shoulders.
Dorit kisses her ass. But Kathy, I love because it's like, that is what people with money, that's how it is. They never talk about money. You realize they have money when you just observe these little things from the side, right? Like Kathy's not talking about her butler and her staff. She's just saying, come over for a night. And then you're like, wait a second, there's a staff of like 30 people that work here on a full-time basis. Or like, wait, I left my bag there. Someone needs to bring it. It's like, it's the little things. That's how you, right. So it's like, Kathy is so authentic. It's like, she is.
You know what's interesting though, David, is how you talk about her coming out unscathed. It makes me wonder if because she sort of has this like kooky persona, like she falls asleep when they're doing a sound bath. They're all going to do this activity. She's like, yeah, I'm going to go get a massage. Like she's on her own planet. But part of me wonders, is she smarter and more calculating when it comes to media than she's letting on? Because I've met Paris multiple times. And, now she comes out and says, my whole Simple Life ditzy girl, that was all a media play. That was calculated. That was a persona. And every time I've met Paris, she is very smart. She's a smart businesswoman. And it makes me wonder, does the apple not fall far? Are these women, smarter than they let on,
Oh, we get into it much more. So head on over to our Patreon and check out this talk. We talk more about Taylor's interaction with Kathy, and we break down everything about Erika, Tom, all her run-ins with them. So head on over to Patreon and check out this.